Back on here. I'm waiting right now to get monetized. Like I said, YouTube sent me something saying that my page is under review and it could take 30 days before I actually get monetized. So, I was a little disheartened a little bit, but I said, you know what? I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna post a little video, go live for a little bit, and I'm gonna continue to go live for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it take 30 days, I'm gonna still get up here. Again, like I said, I was waiting for certain things to get into play. I got an editor. I got a couple editors who asked me to edit my stuff for free of charge. But the problem with that is that I'm real far from civilization. So, I didn't want to deal with a editor. I wanted to sit there. I'm more hands-on, so I want to learn as I go through it. So I didn't want to just send the videos and the footages that I have to somebody, have them edit it and send it back. I'm more hands-on, so I kind of wanted somebody close to where I'm at. But where I'm at, it's a lot of un-African American type of people. So it'll be hard for me to get somebody to edit that I could learn hands-on with. But I'm gonna wait. YouTube said it might take 30 days for me to get monetized. So in the meantime, in between time, I already got the mic, waiting for my office chair, waiting for my desk, and a couple of more mics and stuff like that. So before all of that come, I'm still gonna go live. I wanted to address a couple things that been going on. I see what they call a dirty section. I'm new to YouTube. I ain't really been a YouTube dude, but I know a lot of people in the dirty section been having a lot to say about me. I'm not gonna say no names. The brothers at 050 told me don't shed light on people. You know what I mean? They using you for clout, and I kind of realized that. And I swear this is not coming from a place of pride and ego or nothing like that. But I see some of these dudes, man. I go look on their channel. They got 200 views, 300 views. They've been on YouTube 4 years. So I would hate me too. You know what they considered a rat is up here talking street stuff, and I've been on YouTube for 4 or 5 years, and my highest video is like 3,000 views or whatever. So I would hate on me too. You know what I'm saying? I would hate on me too. I'd be sick, actually. I feel like I'm not articulate enough. Maybe I'm not handsome enough. Maybe I don't got enough to talk about. I'm just so happy to be walking content. Like, I'm learning this content thing. So I'm like walking content, right? Because I've been around a couple rappers, been around a couple gangsters, been around the nigga who started Blood. And regardless of what your opinion of that brother may be, I was actually around him for a lengthy amount of time. Not just him, but Shy Nitty grew up, is from my building. Mel Cross is from my neighborhood. Diddy Mack is from my neighborhood. Cash is from my neighborhood. Knock is from my block. Been with Ty Guns. You know what I'm saying? I've been around Lead Pipe and all the people from Pistol Pete's case. So I find myself going back to street shit because it's a lot of street people who got street ideas and street thoughts. These dudes is older than me and can't even say 2 words without nah I mean or you heard. Kids. They kids, man. Older than me. Still talking about street shit. Still talking about the gangster stuff and all the negativity. And they older than me. Like, when you gonna grow up, homie? When are you gonna say to yourself, you know what, the streets is dead? Why am I even still commenting on street stuff? Why am I still talking about that? Why is that the basis of my channel? The basis of a lot of these dudes' channels in the dirty section, what they call it, is based on street shit. Bro, I'm not going to be in your way much longer. I promise you. Once I get this editor and I put this week's documentary together, once I get the editor and I put this little Dipset stuff that I want to put together, whatever I'm about to say, after I do that, homie, I'm going to be out your way. Y'all can talk about the street stuff till the hell freezes over. I'll be out your way. I promise you. I have so much more to talk about. I can't wait to break down the Stranger Things season of the Strangest. I can't wait to break that down. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to break down some of the cartoons we grew up watching. Because I got... Hold on, y'all. This ain't even half of the books that I have. This ain't even half. So, while y'all was up north, running to the yard to play basketball, on the phone, smoking K2. While y'all was doing that, I was reading The Secret Teachings of All Ages. This is the shit that I was doing. I was reading shit like this. You know, I was reading things like this. And it goes on and on and on and on. Like, I was in there reading. I learned financial literacy. I learned credit. I learned stocks. And then I'll go back into history, and I'll read some history and stuff like that. I've been reading that since I was a kid, but that's what I was doing with my time. And because I did that with my time, I can go on YouTube, and I'm not going to just be up here talking about the gang banging and the killing and the murderings and OG Max and all of that. Y'all can stay there. I'm going to get out y'all way. I promise you. I promise you. As soon as I monetize, I'm probably going to do a month of the gang banging street stuff. And I promise you, when people come, when you look back in on my channel, because y'all keep looking over here, when you look back in on my channel, I'm not going to be talking about nothing that y'all talking about. Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. I want to talk about the IMF, the International Money Fund. That's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how they sold our country out in 1933. I want to talk about what led to the Great Depression and what happened after, you know, we beat King George and, you know, taxation, no more taxation without representation. And I want to tell the people how the government sold us out. That's what I have a whole lot to talk about, homie. A whole lot. I read the Sumerian tablets. I read the Thoth, the Emerald tablets of Thoth. That's what I want to talk about. I want to break down some of David Icke books. I want to talk about Elijah Muhammad. I want to break down the Holy Tablets. I want to talk about the books about Noble Drew Ali. This is what I'm talking about. I want to talk about us in the diaspora. This is what I want to talk about. So I promise you dudes in the dirty section, I am not going to continue to talk about gangbang stuff. So you don't have to view me as a threat. You don't have to think that I'm going to be the one running to find out who's on the next indictment in New York and talking about the gang leaders and what La Brim did and what OG Mac did and what this one. I promise you, dirty section, I am not going to be in your way. You have nothing to fear from me. I'm a retired street nigga. Yeah, I told. A snitch, rat, whatever you want to call it. That's me. I embrace that. So people saying I'm upset about it or I'm hiding, I'm ducking. How am I hiding? I'm on YouTube. I'm on these big platforms saying what I did and what I plan to do. So obviously I'm not hiding. Obviously I don't care what you're saying or what you're talking about. I don't. There's so much more going on down here, man. There's so many souls that need freeing. I've had 2 people in since my birthday, March 15th, I had 2 people call me in tears saying that they was molested by people that I knew and people that I grew up with. They don't even know that I was getting into the healing part and I was going to get into living your truth, which is based on if you snitched, it's okay to tell people you snitched and to change your life and to release that instead of projecting that you're not a snitch and that you're a tough guy and end up going back to prison doing tough shit to defend something that you was obviously you weren't. That it's okay to come out the closet for the kids and the youth who may be, you know, questioning their gender. Instead of me saying, oh, the Bible say, oh, you supposed to be a man, you supposed to be, maybe that soul might be old, that soul may be a man, but it was supposed to be a woman and don't understand what's going on spiritually, mentally, and physically. Maybe you don't understand the general curses that made him or her identify as opposite of what they was created to be. Maybe they need some understanding in that. So I'm going to tell them it's okay, right? Or the girl who been, you know, molested by her uncle or her cousin or her father, or the kid who been molested by his own brother or cousin. It's okay. I give you a safe space. I understand. I've been there as well. That's what I'm here for, healing. So people can learn to forgive themselves, love themselves, and heal themselves, because you can't heal without forgiveness. Everybody that Christ healed, he told the person if they couldn't walk, he said, get up and walk. He told the person if they couldn't see, he said, now clean your eyes out and see. It's because the person had to want to be healed. The person had to want to be healed. Before Christ removed the spirit, because there is a spirit that causes these things. Before he removed the spirit, he spoke to the spirit, then he spoke to the person, because the person had to want to get up. So I'm creating a safe space for people who want to get up, for people who want to walk again, For people who want to look themselves in the mirror, for people who don't want to walk around with the weight of a lie. You know how heavy it is to lie and to carry a lie? I used to do it, so I know how heavy it is. It's heavy. You know how light you are when you are living in your truth and being who you're supposed to be? It makes you so much lighter, so much brighter. You smile more. You feel so good. It is free to be me. You have to spin to pretend. It's free to be me. And it costs you a dime to stay out of mine. So come on over here, watch my videos, and the more you watch my videos and critique every single word that I say and everything that I talk about, the more you do that, the more you're going to see I'm going to drift further and further and further and further and further and further away from where your mind could even fathom. Stay down there, homie, because obviously you ain't grow yet. If you older than 40 and you still talking street shit, something is wrong with you, homie. And this ain't just for the dudes in the dirty section. This is for some of the dudes in the comment. Like, I ain't even tripping. I'm not mad or upset. I'm just looking at like, what is it in you? What's wrong with you that you have to promote and propagate this negativity? Shit that don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. What you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Talk about the murders? You want me to tell you about who I killed or who I shot and all of that? And you want me to justify? Yo, you ain't never killed nobody. What you want me to tell you? I killed somebody. I told you I did some things. I caused some death. What, you want me to get graphic? For what? To prove what? To who? One day, somebody, because it's sealed right now, but one day somebody will get a Pesa account and they'll be able to look into what I profited in, and you'll see what I was actually charged with, what I was given immunity. That, and then maybe it'll tickle your fancy. Maybe you'll look at me as somebody tough or somebody worth talking about street shit. But y'all, who gives you the right when you ain't never did nothing? And I'm not even going back to that, but I am going back to that. Like, what have you done, homie? Answer me that. When the last time you've been in handcuffs facing 30 years and somebody said, well, you know, give up this and you walk right out the door? Have you? When the last time you've been in that situation? Get out of jail free card. You know how long I had to get out of jail free card? I witnessed my first murder at 12 years old, homie. You know how many times I went to jail since I was 12 years old? You know how long I had some of these get out of jail free cards in my pocket? Murders from 93, murders from 2000, murder from 98. And I told when? 2016? 17, excuse me. A month before my 38th birthday. So you telling me a man at 37 years old who did 6 bids. I ain't counting Sparford. I'm talking about 6. I've been in jail 6 times over. My shortest bid I ever did was 15 months. So 6 times I've been to jail over a year and a half. 6. So at that time, before I told 5 times I went to jail, and the smallest bid I did was 15 months. All my bids was 5s and 4s. So all them 5s and 4s that I had, you mean to tell me that the last time at 38 years old, I pulled a get out of jail, I had a get out of jail free card every time I went upstate, every time I went to the feds. In all my cases, when you get my record or you want to look at my record since you want to know so bad, you'll see the first 3 times I went in jail was for shooting people. All 3 times, homie. My first 3 bids was for shooting people. And I had them get out of jail free cards then. So when you say, oh, I've been had a get out of jail free card, but I was too young to use the get out of jail card. I was too ignorant. I was too much trying to be bucks and be the gangster. I was so worried about my name that I went and did those bids. One of the shooting cases, I said it before, in 1999, I didn't even do it. My man jumped out, shot 2 people, jumped back in my car. I had them out there when I was out in Connecticut. I had them with me. And everybody knew me. Nobody knew them. Guess who went and did the 5 years? Me. So I've been had that get out of jail free card that you're talking about, homie. I've been had that. It wasn't until I was 38 when I said, I think I'm going to use that. I think my kids need their father. My aunt's sick. My mom's had a stroke. She in the hospital. My dad's old. I ain't had another 20 years in me. So I went, digged in my pocket, and pulled that get out of jail free card. I did. because I was scared. I could say I was into Jesus, I was, but that wasn't the reason. Because if I was really into Jesus, I would have prayed and meditated myself out of that situation, because I did it before. But out of fear and where I was at spiritually, you know, I let the government use me to put some other brothers in jail and let myself out. But again, like I said, we're talking about murderers. None of these dudes was innocent. If you ever get a hold of my prophets and you read my prophets, they didn't even ask me about all the kilos I was moving. They didn't ask me who sold me a kilo. They didn't ask me nothing. They came down there to Pennsylvania to ask me about murders, homie. That was it. So for somebody who never did nothing and been around nothing, like you say, they didn't even ask me about drugs. And I wasn't a drug dealer like a lot of you niggas. I wasn't you niggas. I'm not going to say their names, but you know who's on Weeks Avenue. Give me anything I ask for. All the dudes you say you know, Storm and all them, ask them, homie. Ask them. When I came home, kilos came home. When I came home, kilos came home with me. That's the type of ignorant nigga I was, though, but I wasn't like you niggas. I was a different type of nigga. I always used my noodle, always. But the feds didn't ask me about coke. They didn't ask me where the drugs was coming from. They asked me about murders, homie. That's all they asked me about. So I've been had to get out of jail free card. I just chose to use it at 38 because I didn't want to go spend another 20 years in prison. And whoever you've been up north and all that, nigga, you would have told too at 38, nigga. Let you have got busted for a dumbass drug case at 38 and you had to get out of jail free card. Now, we ain't talking about the state where you telling you still go. We talking about the federal government. Especially once they told you, yeah, the mother murders that, before I even told them about them, yeah, those murders, we know you was there. We know you was involved. When we do the indictment, you going to be on that indictment. Nigga, they knew already. I was just wise enough to jump on the bus before it pulled off. And a lot of you niggas would have did the same thing. 99.9% of you niggas would have did the same thing. So it's easy to sit up here because you may have never told on nobody or never put yourself in a position to have to tell on nobody. Because a lot of you niggas ain't really did nothing. It's just God honest truth. You don't know what it's like to see somebody's brains get blown out, nigga. Right all over you in the car while you sitting in the car, the brains all over you. You don't know what that's like? Have you ever seen, like I seen Joel laying in Weeks? I seen Joel laying on Weeks. Half of his head was gone. He was laying on the ground. This whole half of his head was gone. It was just this on the floor, like this on the floor. This, all of this part, all of this was gone while he was laying on the floor. And the shit around his head wasn't even red. It was pink. Pink and gray. Like oatmeal. You ever seen pink and gray oatmeal? Have you ever seen that, nigga? You sitting up here talking all this gangster stuff. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever witnessed that? Have you ever seen somebody you was just smoking with that you knew for your whole life, you was just smoking with him, and somebody jump out with an AK and blow half his head off right in front of you? That was also in my back pocket that I could have been told about because I knew the niggas who killed them. Do you know what that's like? You don't. You don't. Do you know what it's like to go to the funeral of your best friend's brother and you're 13 years old, 12 years old, and to watch the niggas who killed him hugging his mother and smoking weed like in the movie Juice? Do you know what that's like in real life? No, you don't. So who are you to tell me anything about life and what I should be doing when you ain't never seen half the shit I seen? None of it. None of it. Have you been to the federal? Yeah, you've been up north. Have you been to the federal penitentiary, homie? Because up north is a playground compared to the federal penitentiary, especially when I was there in the early 2000s, 2001, 2, 3, 4. When I was there. Do you know what that's like? Going home in 6 months in a New York car, get into it, and it's 200 niggas on the yard, you over here with a knife on you, going home in 6 months, and every nigga around you got life. And if these two dudes in the middle of the yard don't come to an understanding, y'all gonna stab each other to death like in the ancient movies where the ones meet in the middle. You ever seen Braveheart? Like real live Braveheart? Up north don't have nothing compared to where I've been, homie. Leavenworth and Lewisburg. I was there at 22 years old. 22, a kid with 5 years in the federal penitentiary when they didn't even send kids to the federal penitentiary. And you mean to tell me that I was supposed to take my time for my drug case, Don't tell on none of these murders. Let all these murders go unsolved. Let them niggas go up north or run the streets. And I was supposed to go do 30 years for what? Which one of the niggas that I told on that you said I grew up with, which I ain't grew up with none of them niggas. That's what you fail to realize too. I haven't told on not one of my childhood friends. Because all the niggas that was killing people was just niggas I was around. But you don't know that because you're not from my neighborhood. You're just talking. I didn't tell on one nigga. Well, not saying I didn't tell on because you got to tell everything you did when they asked you. But not one nigga I grew up with that was my day one or not one friend that I sent to prison. Them niggas wasn't my friends. They was associates. And that's what's wrong with a lot of you niggas. You misconstrue what a friend is and what an associate is. You misconstrued that. Because my friends wasn't in the streets. They wasn't. I had one friend, he was a rapper. All my other friends had fathers and they went to school. I had one other friend that was in the streets. And he told before I told. Smash. That was my friend. All the other niggas I was around wasn't my friends. They was just niggas who was in the neighborhood doing some killing. They knew that I'd get busy. They knew I had a brain. They knew I shot my gun off. And they know a lot of niggas listened to me. And I was around them. They wasn't my friends at all. And whether they were or they weren't, when it came time for me to tell to go home to my children and my family, they would have went to jail. Gangster, tough guy. Call it what you want to call it, man. It just disturbs me at our people, man. It disturbs me. It disturbs me how grown men, I could see if it was these YouTubers and they was 21, 22, 23, you know, still living the life, propagating the life, promoting the life, because they running around hanging and banging and slanging. They don't have no sense of nothing. They ain't been nowhere. They ain't did nothing. I get it. But when you have men in above 35, these niggas is actually the two people I see, they 40, they in their 40s. Niggas spent the whole 40 minutes talking about me. If I never told and I was an official street nigga, I would never be on this, first of all, because everybody's with this real shit, street shit, real shit. What is a real street nigga doing on social media? What are you here for? Why are you here? Real street nigga, why are you here? Why are you here talking real street shit? Because there's murders, there's people who murder people, and you're up here talking about it. You could speak something that could get somebody else murdered because some of these families and people still have problems. But you're up here talking about it. You're not even from over there. You're not even from there. You have no horse in this race. You're just talking about it, but you're a street nigga, official street nigga. What does an official street nigga have the business to be on social media talking street shit, unsolved shit, murder shit? You're regurgitating street shit, but you're saying you're talking about official and real and fake, but you're on this talking about it. I could never. See, I told, so I can do it, right? Everything I'm saying up here, I already told the government. Once you get a PACE account, all the shit I'm saying up here, you'll see. I told them the truth. So when you look, you're going to see the truth. What I said is what I did, nigga. So I could do this, right? I'm a rat. I'm not supposed to be in the streets. I'm a dub. I can do this. But you, Mr. Official Street Nigga, what are you doing on social media? What are you doing on YouTube? You're not making no money. I went to your channel. Your shit's got like 300 views, maybe 1,000. I've been on here 2 weeks, bro. 2 weeks. Go find a job, nigga. Go mentor at a school somewhere. For real. Raggedy ass kitchen. You want to see my kitchen, nigga? What are you doing with your life? What are you doing? You on social media, your kids running back and forth, and you in the kitchen at 40-something years old, probably 50, talking about a bunch of street shit. While them kids trying to get popsicles out the freezer, you blocking their way to the freezer because you in there talking about me, a rat. Get your life together, homie. For real. Get your shit together. For real. And I had to get lower vibrational. I apologize to all my high vibrational people. I apologize for going back to the low vibrational shit. Don't misconstrue or misunderstand my passion for upsetness, because this nigga can't get me mad. It just makes me passionate about what I'm doing. And niggas like that is the example where I want to talk to the kids so they're not 40 years old in their baby mother kitchen talking street shit for $2, because you only get $20 per 1,000 views. This nigga ain't even hit 2,000 views, none of his videos. So he's up here talking about me for an hour for 20 bucks. Get your life, my nigga. But I promise you, I'll be out your way. They probably got another month of street shit out of me, and then we're gonna really get to what we need to really be getting to. Because that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, homie. You know? To talk about the rappers you idolize and the street niggas you idolize that I actually been around, that I actually done shared bed with, that I actually done shared cars with, that I actually done shared whatever with, street shit, whatever you want to call it. People you sit on here and talk about and idolize, you'll never get a chance to meet because all you're doing is sitting in the kitchen or sitting somewhere in a dirty-ass Bronx talking about shit that you did in the 80s or how you been up north and how you knew this one and who knew you? Who knew you? Who are you? You're actually very important, but because you don't know shit and you're not doing shit, you devalue yourself. It's like a Bentley. You don't take Bentleys and put rims on them. A Bentley is a Bentley. Once you put rims on it, you bring the value down, and it's no longer what it was made to be. You devalue it. That's what you're doing, black man. You're valuing yourself talking about street shit. I'm gonna get out your way and allow you to talk about all the street shit you want. I promise you. When you come over here 30, 60 days from now, it ain't gonna be what you looking. Maybe you might learn something, but the shit that I'm about to put out ain't gonna have nothing to do with the shit you accustomed to. For real. So I get that I'm down here with you. So, I started on this platform talking about the hell round nigga and the street shit and the gangster shit. So in your mind, you might view me as a threat. I'm handsome. I'm articulate. I actually did some shit. I actually been around a couple of people. I might have a couple dollars. I was definitely touching a couple dollars. So I could see why in your inadequate, minute-ass mind that you would view me as a threat. But I promise you, I am by no means no threat to you, homie. For real. I'm gonna get right out your way. How my son Oskino said, but you about to wake Pop up. Pop will put belt to ass. Verbally, because I'm never gonna do nothing to you. I ain't gonna do nothing to you. I ain't gonna do nothing to nobody. I ain't harmed a nigga since 2012, homie. I mean, in jail I had a whole bunch of fights, but we all grew up fighting. Fighting ain't shit. But it is when you allow anger to overcome you and you can't control your anger and the spirit of anger overcomes you. And that's what I want to show the people, how to vibrate high, how to clean out the 8 chakras in your body and the 36 chakras above and below. Clean out your auric field. And ask the Most High to bless you so you vibrate higher, so you don't allow the spirit of anger, death, lies, deceit to overcome you. And that's what's going on here. There's a lot of jealousy, envy, and behind a lot of these tough guys' facades is a scared little kid, a scared little boy, or somebody who feels they have to prove something to somebody. That's what this whole internet is full of. It's full of people who feel they have something to prove to the rest of the world. That's what it's full of. That's what's up here. But the reason why most of them don't catch a spark is because you have nothing to offer the community. You have nothing to offer the planet. You have nothing to offer the world but your breath. Breath is spirit. You have nothing to offer but your spirit. Nothing. You ain't uplifting nobody. You ain't teaching nobody. You can say at the end of your video, yeah, this is for the kids to stay out the street and all that, but you really not offering them nothing. You can't teach them nothing. I know you can't teach them nothing because I listen to what you're talking about, and you're talking about a bunch of nothing. Nothing whatsoever. What are you teaching your kids? Do you sit with your kids and talk about, because when I get to where I'm getting to, I can actually sit with children and talk about what I'm planning to get to. Can you sit and talk to children about what you're talking about on your platform? What are you going to say? Because the minute you tell them that the streets ain't the streets, but you get up here and tell somebody about somebody else, say, well, he really didn't get busy, or he really ain't kill this one, or he told on all these gangster niggas, so he ain't official no more, and I'm a real one. What is a real one? A real one is living in your truth and being who you really are. A real one is saying, yeah, I told on a bunch of niggas because I was scared to go to prison, and I chose my family, and I didn't give a fuck about none of them niggas. That's a real one. Not being a real one is saying stuff, yeah, yeah, he told and he's soft and all this, and like, when in reality, you probably told. Yeah, he told and all this, when in reality, it's somebody you got murdered that you liked and you cared about, and you ain't never did nothing about it. In all reality, when you're going to work every day, but you acting like you're getting a bunch of money in the streets and all of that, or you just get around your coworkers because you've been up north a couple times and you tell them how, yeah, I used to be a wild dude. I used to be running around doing this and doing that, when you ain't never really did nothing. What's a real one? What are you doing that's real? How is sitting on social media talking about another nigga real? How is sitting on social media talking about a rapper, gang banging, how many times you been up north, who you met up north? How is any of that real? How? What qualifies as real? What is real? What's real, homie? Because you got real bills that YouTube, because your little 100 views or 1,000 views ain't paying your real bills. It ain't fixing that shit over your cabinet where the paint is dripping over your cabinet. You ain't, what you talking on here can't fix the shit on your cabinet or get you out that dumbass Honda or Maxima that you be in making videos in. Real can't do none of that for you. It's not. So you better off being fake. Because obviously you don't know what real is. Real is a nigga who can say, yo, I'll gracefully bow out. As I did. Talking about it started in slavery. Do you know where snitching actually came from? You said it started in slavery. Do you know where it actually come from, homie? Let me take you to school, because I know you dumb and you don't read. And I hate to call a brother dumb, but nigga, you're dumb. No, for real, we're going to call a spade a spade. You're dumb. You're ignorant. You have no sense of being, no sense of understanding, no knowledge, no wisdom. You have absolutely nothing to offer our community. And I feel sorry for your children. I feel sorry for the woman you laying next to every night. Got to hear your stupid ass war stories and your dumb ass gold teeth in your mouth looking like a fucking buffoon. I feel sorry for the people around you because you have nothing to offer them. But this snitching shit didn't start in slavery, dummy. Before there was ever an African slave brought to the diaspora or moved from the western shores of Africa, before that, there was people telling. In Egypt, there was people telling. And it started from tribalism, right? When two armies of people went to war, whether it was in Africa, whether it was in Mesoamerica, whether it was in Mesopotamia, wherever it was, whenever there was two factions going against each other, one faction would take prisoners of war, POWs, and when they took these people captives, they would torture these people and they would ask them, who's your king? Where's your kingdom located? How many soldiers do you have? How many horsemen do you have? How many spears do you have? They would capture these people, and these people more than likely would be taken to death before they gave up information on their tribe or their kingdom. Reason being is, if I was one of them and you took me hostage and you have me captive, if I tell you the intel on our infrastructure, then that means I'll give you information to defeat my kingdom, to go to where I came from, and then my children is there, my grandmother's there, my wife's there, my mom's there, my dad's there. We might have a little plot of land by the water. You capture that, so now you got a water hole to get fish, right? You take all our cattle, and if I give you this information, I'm giving you everything. So those people rather die than give up information on their family. That is the worst kind of snitch, right? Because if I tell, I'm a coward, right? You're going to go kill, take, maim, and, pillage everything in our village if I tell. So I'd rather die, because if you take everything that belongs to me, I'm better off dead anyway. So go ahead, kill me. But my homie's going to come kill you. My family, they taking care of, because I got brothers over there. I got, other soldiers over there. Kill me dead. You're not going over there, though. I'm not going to lead you back to where I came from. So those people would rather die. And then we go into Africa, right? When they came, the conquistadors, or whoever it was, because so many people raped and pillaged Africa. But when the colonizers came and they captured some of the slaves, usually the bigger tribes, they gave up the smaller tribes. So they wasn't really snitches. They were more or less informants. They informed the colonizers that, there's a smaller tribe over there. You can go get them. In fact, I'll show you where they're at. And they took them over there and they enslaved those people, and they drugged the smaller tribes over, and ended up coming to, America or Puerto Rico, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Cuba, Colombia, all over 4 parts of the earth, right? Those people was more informants than snitches. And then we get to America. Now this is slavery. See how there was things that happened before slavery? You see how there was informants and snitches before slavery when you said it started in slavery? This is before slavery. So now we get to slavery. Now we get to the, the eastern shores of America, and we get to slavery, right? So now we're over here and we're slaves for however many years, right? Did you know, sir, since you're teaching, did you know? Because you're a teacher, you're responsible to teach if you have a platform. But you're not teaching, you're just regurgitating shit that you heard because you're an idiot. You went up north and you did a whole bunch of pull-ups and push-ups, but ain't read a book. So when we got here, right, now we're slaves, the police department was formed as to catch slaves. I think you may have known that. That's simple knowledge. I'm sure you know that. So the police was actually formed to catch runaway slaves, right? This is where your first warrants came from. This is where the U.S. Marshals, all this shit comes from slavery. Like you kind of touched on. I don't know if you were just regurgitating some shit you heard, just like all the other shit you say. So that's when the first police department was formed to catch runaway slaves, right? And at that time, let's just say Harriet Tubman, right? Let's say we was running with Harriet Tubman. And we was on the Underground Railroad. And while Harriet is freeing the slaves and bringing them up north to Philly and things of that nature, right? As she's crossing the Mason-Dixon with these slaves, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, they catch me. They book me. Boom. They drag me back to Massa. And Massa threatened to hang me. He's like, I want to know how the Underground Railroad works. And I knew that, certain pastors and certain Christian churches was holding, free slaves or runaway slaves under the thing. If I informed, right, because my kids might have been running away, my brother's kids, and, you ain't really had kids because your kids was separated from you and shit. But let's just say hypothetically, right? If I told then, I would be worse than a snitch, right? Because I'm sending my people back to slavery. I'll be worse than a snitch. These are just people who want to be free and they're running up north for freedom. So if I informed or snitched on those people, then I would probably be the worst nigga on the face of the earth, right? Because now I'm having women and children drugged back to Massa. Massa's still gonna put me to slave. He's still gonna whoop me. Maybe even if he did put me in the house and made me a house nigga, got me out the field a little bit, I still be the worst nigga on the face of the planet. So more than likely, most of the times, those brothers rather die. They rather die. Those where the Nat Turners came from, right? They rather die than to give up the good people, the slaves, to the slave master. And I know what you're thinking, that the police is the slave master and we the slaves, and me sending brothers back to jail is like sending them back to the plantation is like sending them to jail, because jail is the modern day plantation, which it kind of is, because it says it in the amendment. The only way you could be enslaved is if you commit a crime. It's the 13th Amendment, I think. I'm not too sure, maybe. I don't know, but I read so much shit that I might misconstrue some shit. Not that I ain't read nothing, just sitting here regurgitating shit because I don't know shit. So if I was that type of person, then you could say I was a snitch, because I'm actually putting my people back in slavery, some free people who ain't did nothing, but just trying to get their freedom. Fast forward, right? After slavery, and we spread out a little bit, and we start going up north. We get the Harlem Renaissance, right? And we get the Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? We get Rosewood. We get all these black Wall Streets all over America where black people are thriving, right? And we're doing good, right? Now, as we're starting to do good now we become capitalistic. We become just like the colonizers, right? It's all about bread. It's all about money. Now, in that term and aspect, right? Now we start committing crimes. Now because we free now, right? So we don't no longer see Massa as our enemy. We no longer see each other as brothers. Now it's all about who could get the most money, who could get the better house, the better car. So now we don't see each other as brothers. We all trying to get this bread. Now, the minute we stop seeing each other as brothers and we don't have to worry so much about the colonizers, now it's more about, the American dollar and getting our own slice of the American pie. If I decide to pimp out my own sisters, if I decide to run a numbers racket and I'm not taking care of the neighborhood, which a lot of the brothers who did those things were, if I wasn't had a bank, or I wasn't a shoemaker, or I wasn't doing something productive to put more money into our community and send my kids to school and, to better themselves, if I'm doing anything that the colonizers, the white people who care nothing about us, if I'm doing the same shit that they're doing in terms of pimping, selling drugs, robbing my own people, kidnapping my own people, and I get caught and I tell on the other robbers and kidnappers, nigga, I'm just the same as the niggas that I told on is just the same as the slave master. They not doing that shit for the people. They not selling drugs for the people. They not gangbanging for the people. They ain't doing nothing but colonizing, because that's what gangs do. We colonize. We claim a certain neighborhood, and we take it over, and we act like it's ours. That's what we do. So when you get caught doing that and you tell on each other, nigga, you niggas is all doing bad. Nigga, you're all the police. You're all... Have you ever read a Black Panther book? I suggest anybody in these chats read the Black Panther book or watch the Black Panther movie, not the cartoon character, the Marvel Black Panther, the actual Black Panther. Bobby Brown was in the joint. My son Dwayne from a Different World, he was in it. It was a few people, good people in it. Go watch the original Black Panthers movie. And the reason why I want people to watch this because I'm wrapping up a point. If you watch that, because it's a movie, you don't have to go read all the books that I read. The Seize the Times, Revolutionary Suicide, Soledad Brothers, Blood in My Eyes, or Soul on Ice, Eldridge Cleaver. You don't got to read all the extracurricular Black Panther books that I read, right? But if you read any of those books, or you watch the Black Panther movie, or you learn anything about the vanguard of the people, then you would know that to them, the strongest Black movement we ever had, it took 4 years to crush the Panthers. That's the strongest movement any African Americans we ever had, ever. They dismantled it in 4 years. And the reason being is because the Panthers saw the pimp, the drug dealer, and the gangbanger as the colonizer. They saw them as a parasite, something that clung on, and they were the bloodsuckers of the poor. And they were not considered the community. They were not considered the people. They were considered the same as the police, the drug dealers, the gangbangers, and the pimps. So if a drug dealer, gangbanger, or pimp tell on other drug dealers, gangbangers, and pimps, that's what the fuck they deserve, because they doing the same shit the police is doing, not giving a fuck about the community. So you dumb niggas who sit here talking about somebody telling on some other niggas who killed a bunch of people, you sound like a fucking imbecile. And I'm using this language to stick in your head. You sound dumb. Next time you get on the thing and talk about somebody telling on somebody, just realize what you're saying, homie. Yeah, I was killing. Yeah, I was selling drugs. Yeah, I was gangbanging. Yeah, I was lost. But after a while, you have to find yourself. After a while, you have to say, damn, I don't give a fuck if it's the day the police put the handcuffs on you. Eventually, when are you going to get it? Because that was my 6th time, about to go do another bit. What was I supposed to wait till my 10th time? I wouldn't have got a 10th time because I'd have been up the river for a very long time. But let's just say hypothetically, when is it okay to grow? When is it okay to say that nigga killed another dude for no reason, he deserves prison? When is it okay to say that? When is it okay to say, damn, he shot up a block and hit a little girl by accident, he deserves to go to jail? When is it okay to say that? I'm asking tough guy, gangster, street niggas, when is it okay to say, I got kids who play outside and these little niggas coming through here shooting up the block every day? When is it okay to say them niggas deserve to be in jail? So hopefully if they go to jail, they could sit down, read a couple of books, find Islam or find the Hebrew Israelites or find Christianity or find Judaism or anything they need to find to change that little brother's mind so he could get out and do something different. When is it okay to say some of them little niggas might need to go to jail because there ain't nothing else gonna save them? It wouldn't nothing save me. I'd have still been out there hanging and banging if I never got locked up. Was there nothing gonna change my mind? So when is it okay to say, yo, you know what? Some of these niggas need to be in prison. When is it okay to say that, dummy? Let me guess, we just all supposed to be real niggas, nobody tell on nobody, and we all just keep shooting up the neighborhood. Let all of the killers, real nigga, let's let all of the killers from up north and out of the feds, and let's get them all back on the streets and just let them just shoot shit up, and nobody tells on nobody, and we just let whoever gets shot, whoever dies, because niggas get shot every day, B. That's what we supposed to do. Why are we on here glorifying these fake-ass rappers who ain't never shot nothing, they never been up north, ain't never sold a kilo, ain't never had brains blown all over their outfit. They ain't never seen none of that. They ain't never see their best friends take their last breath because they got killed for some dumbass colors or a dumbass block that they don't own. That's what we supposed to do, real nigga. So please give me your suggestion on what we supposed to do to save these babies and change these communities. I just want your suggestion because you have all the fucking answers, you dummies. Y'all got all the answers. All you real niggas have all the fucking answers. What are we supposed to do? Oh, let me guess. It doesn't really matter. I was supposed to take my time, go to the federal penitentiary and spend the rest of my life in there just so my rapper friend could say free bucks, like he's saying free my other homie that's doing 20 years that he don't go see. He don't bring he don't even see his own kids. So how you gonna bring somebody else's kids to see them? But these are the niggas you idolize. You sitting here justifying OG Mac and talking about I'm not like Alpo. Who was Alpo? Who was that? Who was that? I'm not like him. Who the fuck want to be like Alpo? Who was he to be like? I could say I walked in the shoe. I was actually in the witness protection jail he was in. Actually, I actually met the niggas who cut little Darnell's finger off and mailed it to Rich Porter's mother. I was with him. John Cuff was my bunkie for 2 years. So I know Alpo was not really like that. And I'm not even taking it away from that nigga because y'all gonna go run with this too. But I was actually with John Cuff, Jack Frost, the nigga who cut the little nigga brother up and put him in the garbage bags. And I sat and smoked weed with him every night and heard the stories. What if I told you Alpo was never like that? What if I told you your dumb, idiot, ignorant, stupid ass that every nigga from Harlem and the Bronx from the 80s would tell you Alpo was not even like that? This is what Paid in Full and the movies and everything projected this nigga to be some super dope duper Kilimanjaro, and he wasn't. He went down there. He didn't have nobodies in Harlem. Nobody was scared of him in Harlem. Half Harlem only knew him from William Bicycles and being a pretty boy money getting nigga. But it was niggas getting way more money than that. But you wouldn't know because all your information is secondhand. You watch movies and read books and think you know something. You don't know shit. I actually sat with the niggas who was hitting Fritz. I actually sat with the Preacher Crew. I actually sat with niggas who Lou Sims and Lynch Mob niggas that I've been on the yard with and heard not one person, not two person, three persons saying what was the state of Harlem in the Bronx and Brooklyn in the late 80s when all these things was going on. And it was a general consensus that Alpo just went down to DC, tricked some DC niggas because he was getting a couple joints and they started killing for him. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're just regurgitating shit because you ain't never been nowhere. But you sit here and tell these street tales and you don't know nothing about nothing, homie. Nothing. You're just talking. So, and I don't just go for these dumb blogging niggas. Just go for some of you dumb niggas in the comments too, man. Some of you dumb niggas too. Like, you're just talking a bunch of stupid shit. For real. For real. When is a gangster supposed to get tired? At what age is a gangster supposed to get tired? At what age is a gangster supposed to, when he hears shots outside, be worried, hoping that a little kid didn't get hit, hoping the bullets don't come in his window and hit his children, hoping his nieces and nephews that's out in the park, they didn't get struck when you hear them gunshots? When is there a time when you get tired of the gunshots? When is there a time when you start fearing for other people while the gunshots is going off? Let me guess, you's a real nigga, so you supposed to say, oh, those just gunshots. It is what it is. I hope nobody go to jail. Real nigga. You is a real nigga. I'm going to switch that term. From now on, a real nigga is exactly what he said he is, a real nigga. You's a real nigga. Do you understand what a real nigga is, real nigga? You's a real nigga. You are. I'm not a real nigga, but you're a real nigga because you's an ignorant nigga. So you's a real ignorant nigga. All you little niggas in the chat, you're some real ignorant niggas. For real. Learn what to do next time you get your hands on 10 grand, homie. Learn what to do. Try to buy some of that real estate. Try to buy some of that shit from them, you know, them people. I can't say their name. The people who own the building you live in a dirty-ass Bronx. Try to buy some of that real estate, homie. Why don't you learn the stock exchange? Why don't you read a couple of books, man? Go learn stocks. Learn day trading. I'm serious. Go on Start Engine and try to find an IPO before it go public and invest some of your money into that before, you know, if you're smart, you know, try to find the next DoorDash or the next Ring or the next, you know, Uber or the next Lyft. Why don't you try to invest it? Do you think that way? Is that where where's your mind at? What are you going to teach your kids? My oldest daughter right now is getting her master's in business management and accounting. That's what she's doing. I'm a little upset. I just came home. I've been home about 3 years, and I wish I had the business to hand her so she could business management it since she's getting her master's in it, and the other one getting the accountant so they can account it. I'm a little behind. I'm a little behind, but I owe them girls that. I don't owe you or none of you niggas up here nothing. I'm only saying this for the kids who might have watched your video and they might have come over here to get my response. I'm over here so they can hear my response and say, damn, he's making some sense. That other nigga over there is a dummy. He's a stupid nigga. He's a real nigga. That's what he is. He's a real nigga. You niggas is real niggas. If you look up what they say, a real nigga, what a nigga is, whatever they say, I think they say a nigga is ignorant, right? So you are right. You are a real nigga, homie. Because you real fucking ignorant. And when you can't find nothing to say, you heard. Nigga, we heard you. For the 1 millionth time, we heard you. For the 1 millionth time, we heard you, nigga. Real nigga. So look, I got 76 people in my chat. Now I don't even want to get off. I told my girl I was coming to bed and shit, and I wasn't going to be on here all night, and I ended up being up here an hour. But there's 76 people in my chat. You ever had 76 people in your chat? Real nigga? Nah, I made thousands off day trading. You're wrong there. Nah, I made thousands. How you smoke with dudes who killed Darnell? Darnell. Who killed Darnell? I don't know who Darnell. Oh, Darnell is I think Darnell's Baby Blood. Is Darnell Baby Blood PS70? If that's what you mean. Make your money. Make your money work for you. That's true. That's a fact. That's a Snapple fact. All you got to your name is them glasses and a lot of bad sweaters. I mean, you could be right, homie. You might be right. Start by investing in yourself first. Amen. And that's what I did. That's what I did when I decided to tell. I invested in myself. Okay, but only one other person did that. 98 others lost it all. Oh, y'all talking back and forth about Darnell, Rich Porter's little brother. Because when I was in the cell with Frost, this was in 2004, I was 25 years old. So yeah, I did smoke with the person who killed Darnell, but I was 25 years old. So, the preacher and all of that, I grew up hearing about it. So to be in the cell with John Cuff and to hear him tell his stories, and this dude was, they had like 35 bodies or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I used to get high, and I used to, I was a kid. I was 25 years old. I was a real nigga at the time. So I wanted to hear, how he killed this one, how he killed that one, and how they went back and forth with the lynch mob and all that. I used to like to hear those kind of stories, you know what I'm saying? And it taught me a lot about my city. And what I learned being in the feds with a lot of the older people is, I could speak a lot about New York, right? New York is real small. It's not, people think it's small, big, but New York is real small. The underworld is real small. Drug dealers and the niggas that's selling the birds and getting the birds, the gang leaders, they all know each other. They all know each other. When you ain't doing nothing, you insignificant, you confined to your one little area, so you don't know nothing else. But when you get to a certain statue and standard, everybody in New York know each other. Bronx, Brooklyn, Harlem, Queens, everybody know everybody for the most part. And I'm not gonna say it's, what is 19 million, 17 million, whatever people. So it's a lot of people, but I'm saying the underworld is very small. It's very small. Like if I'm going to buy 20 birds and we going to Brooklyn to buy 20 birds, them niggas know them niggas. Like you can't just go find that anywhere. Them niggas know each other. Like if a nigga like, yo, you going to Bronx, or y'all went and got what from where? Or y'all went to Brooklyn and copped 20 or 25? Them niggas know them niggas. Niggas know each other. I'm just being honest. It's not as big as y'all think it is. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, sitting in there and listening to the stories, it got to show me something, right? While I'm sitting around the dudes who all got indicted in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? That's what left the void for this blood shit. Had all of those, guard bodies who ran all those neighborhoods and controlled all those neighborhoods. If Giuliani didn't come through and clean that city up, we probably wouldn't have been able, the blood thing wouldn't have been able to flourish, because a lot of those neighborhoods, the Sound Views and, you know what I'm saying, Red Hooks and all those places like that, God Brewer, you know, certain parts of Jamaica, Queens, and all of that. If those dudes were still there, those Supremes and Supreme Magnetics and, you know, the this ones and that ones, if they were still there, they would have chased us off them blocks, coming around talking about we blood and, you know, cutting people for stupid shit and shooting up the block for dumb shit. You had the answer to that. They would have somebody you had to answer to if you was getting the block shot up or you shooting up the block that for something that ain't got nothing to do with their money. You would have had the answer to that. So because the feds came through and indicted all of the older dudes, you know what I'm saying? It left a void in the city. And blood filled that void. I'm from the generation of fuck the older niggas. Like, it was the 90s niggas who was like, fuck the older niggas, because the ones who was left was most likely crackheads and dope fiends. All of the significant dudes was already in the feds. And that's real shit. If you came through the feds in the early 90s, the early 2000s, you say you from New York, all the niggas from all the other cities assumed you had a bunch of money, because that's who was coming through there. So they left that void when they took all the leadership. That's kind of what's going on in Chicago right now. If you ask anybody from Chicago, they're going to tell you the reason why the murder rate is so high and the violence is so high is because they took all the leaders. So when you take all the leaders, you leave all of the underlings. They don't know how to think. All they do violence. It don't take a brain to do violence. You know what I'm saying? It don't take a brain to do violence. Anybody could do violence. Or your man died and you go get revenge. Anybody could get mad and go shoot a nigga. And I'm not, you know, making light of it, but I'm just being honest. Anybody could do that. You know? They're not worrying about that. They worrying about the mind that can mobilize 100 men or 200 men. That's what they worrying about. They worrying about when they killed Ramali Graham, and I was out there and it was only like 50 people marching. They worrying about the gang member that could have got 50,000 people out there marching. So now they're like, damn, we're going to be held accountable for everything we did, because these Bloods or these Crips or these GDs or these Vice Lords, they're going to actually mobilize 100 and something men. They're going to mobilize a strike. They're going to do certain things, you know, to affect the city, to affect the income, to affect the city councils. They're going to send a whole bunch of people down to the city council and cause havoc. Not saying like, you know, violent havoc, but just having a voice of people when we come together as a voice. That's what they worried about. They're not worried about a lone gunman. They just lock him up. Somebody gonna tell on him, he gonna end up in prison. They're not worried about that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I used to like to hear the stories about, you know, old New York. You know what I'm saying? And so I did smoke with Darnell's killer. I didn't catch it for a second, you know, but I did like to hear the stories, you know. So I got to hear the real stories about Alpo. You know what I mean? Them dudes was paying. They was paying Preacher. They was paying them dudes, man. They wasn't, see, Preacher was not like an Alpo. And what I say is that is like this. There's levels to gangsterism or a killer. There's levels to it. I'll give you an example, like the dude 50 Cent, the real 50 Cent that got killed, right? He was tough, but he was just 150 Cent. So when he robbed the wrong person, all they had to do was give his little man 50 grand and they killed him, and that was the end of 50 Cent. Now, when you had people like the A-Team, like in Brooklyn, or when you had like the family in Harlem, or the lynch mob, you know what I'm saying? When you had a group of killers, that's a different story, because it's like, all right, you might can kill the one killer, but it's 4 other killers now that's gonna come get you. Now you gotta worry about your moms, your little brother, because now it's a nigga that just might kill your little brother because he can't get you, or a nigga that might kill your moms because he can't get you, right? Because there's more of them. When it's one person, it's easy to take out that one person. And that's who Alpo was. He was one person. You know what I'm saying? So y'all could listen to the full stories and all of that, because a lot of those stories is written and projected and propagated by people who was not really in the higher echelon of street niggas in the 80s. They were the people who probably looked up to these dudes, so they made the story sound like more than it really was. When, you know, there was dudes like Fritz, and there was people that had way more money than Prince. I mean, than Rich Porter and Poe and them. You ask the average kid, they're gonna say Rich Poe and Alpo was the richest niggas in Harlem, but they was not even close. They was just the kids who looked flashy and they had a couple 100,000. I was gonna save this, but you know, talking with Frost, I actually heard the real actual story that's not in the books and none of that. What a lot of people don't know is Rich Porter and them actually gave them niggas like 200,000. This is what Frost told me. I don't know. I'm just going from the horse's mouth. Like, y'all niggas have regurgitated stories. I sat with this man every night and listened to him. He smoked weed, go through his book, because a lot of niggas in the feds Prince was one of them. If he watching this, he could, you know, say what I'm saying. A lot of dudes, when they had bodies in big cases, they used to laminate like their case, the bodies and the shit, and to be like in a book. And he used to smoke weed and go through the book and just rap. He'd be like, this is how we killed Jamie O and Ali Mo from 160 and Little Tim and Little Steve from 123. He would just go through the pages with all the bodies and shit and just smoke. And he would break a lot of shit down to me. But what people don't know is, from what he told me, Rich actually gave him like 200,000. And he gave the 200,000 so fast that the uncle Apple or whatever was like, because I guess Apple was like the protagonist in this. He was telling them, I told you them little niggas had money, man. Them niggas got a couple M's. He said he counted a couple million with them. So when he gave him the first 200 bands, this is what son told me, that they was like, you know what? Give us another 5. And after giving the 200 in cash, he couldn't get up the other 5. And that's when they did what they did. And son also told me too that Rich Porter was in his paperwork. That Rich Porter actually told on him that he was in the paperwork. The nigga from Willie Burgers, the old man from Willie Burgers, told on him too. Teddy Riley told on him too. Yeah, real shit. I seen the paperwork. You know, but y'all just have secondhand knowledge. You're talking about, I want to be like Alpo. Fuck, I want to be, who is he to be like? That's the problem with you niggas, the sideline people. A lot of sideline people, y'all hear stories and y'all be fascinated by these. When you a man, I don't give a fuck what you say about me being a rat and thinking I'm not a man because I told. But when you're a man, meaning you're solid in who you are, you're steadfast in who you are, and you're secure in who you are, you will never fascinate by another nigga, another human being. The only way you can fascinate me if you fly, nigga. You have to fly to impress me. Walk through a wall to impress me, nigga. Heal cancer from another human being to impress me. If you're not doing no extracurricular, you know, supernatural shit, nigga, you can't impress me. I don't give a fuck. You want to be like Alpo. Alpo was nothing to me. Who is he? He ain't got what I got up here. He just was in a couple of movies because his story was highlighted and chosen to be pushed to the forefront. There was a million of Alpos running around Harlem, Bronx, and Brooklyn in the early 80s. That shit fascinate you. Shit don't fascinate me. Not one bit. Not one iota. So, Alpo, what the fuck? No, I want to be like Jesus, nigga. I want to walk on water. I want to cast out demons with just a word. I want my name to ring bells in the higher dimensions. I want them to say, yeah, we heard of that nigga, but tell Peter, and we ain't heard. Yeah, we heard of Soul. We heard it so well. Nah, we don't know Bucks. Bucks used to work for us, but the Soul nigga, we don't know him. We know of him. Who are you? I want to be like Noble Drew Ali, Marcus Garvey. I want to have a freight line of ships. Maybe Elijah Muhammad in his glory. Or Father Clarence 13X, who came to the youth and taught the youth that they were God, that God was within them. Those are the niggas I want to be like. Why the fuck would I want to be like Alpo? Is that something to glorify? Stupid? Real nigga? But there's 82 people in the chat. Now, I don't know when it get like this, I don't even be feeling like leaving, man. But anyway, to all those vibrating high, to all those who tired of the idiocy, to all those who want to, you know, understand this drill culture, to pull your children out from the drill culture, for all those who even overstand this hip hop shit, and the scissors and the Summer Walkers, and want to pull their children from, you know, I'm not gonna act like I don't indulge. I like a little Summer Walker, you know what I'm saying? Mariah the Scientist, I like all that shit a little bit, Tim's, but in all reality, you know what I'm saying? Even to pull your children out from under the spell of R&B, you know, when it's teaching them, because it's not even singing about love anymore. If you really listen to the lyrics, they're not singing about love. They're singing about toxic relationships. That's all they're singing about is toxicity. And they're teaching your children and your daughters that they don't need a nigga, and that all niggas ain't shit. And it's okay to have them, what she say, on the weekend. You can have him Monday through Friday, but he's hers on the weekend. This is what they're teaching our kids. So it's not just hip hop. We think it's just hip hop, but it's not. What we call R&B is actually horrible for our daughters. It is. Because it's teaching nothing but toxicity. It's not promoting love. It's not promoting family. It's not promoting life. It's promoting straight, death, and toxicity. You know, it's 8 o'clock. I ain't got no nigga, and no nigga ain't got me. You know how many times during the breakup, the girl sitting in her driver's seat because she got the car, the nigga's in the passenger seat, he ain't got no car. And she talking about, it's 5 degrees. Yep, I ain't got no nigga, and a nigga ain't got me. And she looking at that nigga, and he in the passenger seat with his dumbass phone that he only could use on Wi-Fi. This is why our people is the way our people is. Because these real niggas. So for all y'all who want change and want to have understanding of who we are and what we are here for, hell, tell a fraud he never bust his gun. Yeah, well, yeah, but it's not about these rappers not busting their guns. I mean, they didn't, but I just want y'all to understand that I'm not, just because I did bust my gun, I'm not saying, yo, them niggas ain't never bust their gun. They never got busy. They didn't. But I'm not saying it from the standpoint of, you know, I'm a real nigga and they not real niggas. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm showing y'all that they never did what they did. And if the kids get to believe that they never did what they did, then maybe they'll see like that they were tricked, that they were bamboozled, that they were hoodwinked. And these lyrics were programmed in our minds to make us believe that this is what a man is. You know, the lyrics became the absent father. It became our propaganda. It's propaganda. You know, if you ever read a Mao book or any book on, you know, silent weapons for quiet wars or any, you know, any war books, you attack the mind. You know, you program the youth. And the youth is programmed that a man is somebody who does some gangster shit. But that's not who a man is. A man is one who protects his family. Once you go in the prison system and you take these social securities and this birth certificate, now because you took their social security and the birth certificate, when you catch a felony, not only are you allowed yourself to be a slave, but now you can't even protect your family as a man. I have to get off probation before my girl registered firearm is lawful for me. While I'm on probation, her registered firearm is not even lawful for me. If a nigga come through that door, I'm gonna give him everything in it just because I gotta protect what's in here. But I'm like, and this is what these real niggas should be teaching: how to get back your rights, how to get back your freedoms. You know, how to become a real man, how to become the king of your castle, how to become under your law and your own jurisdiction and not the jurisdiction of the corporation. You have to understand who the corporation is. You have to understand who the IMF is. You have to understand who the United States Treasury actually belong to. You have to understand commercial law, common law. You have to understand maritime law and maritime law. You have to understand the fringes around the flag. You have to understand who you are and what you are. And these dumb niggas on social media can't teach you that because all they know is who shot who and who started what and what homie and the look at all these super blood niggas. They all on social media talking blood shit. Who got stabbed and who got cut, who went what and who went why. All the power these brothers had to control thousands of men behind a wall, and they out here and they not controlling men to march when people are wrongfully, you know, killed. They're not doing anything. They're not protesting this war. They don't even understand the war. They're not. They ain't doing nothing but just talking gangster shit, street shit, thug shit, sitting on the internet. And some of these brothers are real, like, you know, Mel Cross. I used to idolize Mel Cross before the blood shit. Like, you know what I mean? Makai Pfeiffer looking ass nigga. I used to look up the son, you know what I mean? And he's very articulate, the vanguard of this and vanguard of that. I know he read a couple Black Panther books, you know what I'm saying? I used to get his paperwork from his cousin when he used to, you know, make his P-dubs and stuff. I used to read his stuff. I knew he was smart. You know what I'm saying? But they get out here and actually, what are they really doing? Niggas get a nonprofit or two, you know, run around with mics on and a couple of dudes and act like they're what they call paper revolutionaries. That's what I call paper revolutionaries. Yeah, they never told on nobody. They did their bid. They came home. They big homies. But why did you stop being a big homie? I ain't talking about the gang shit. I'm talking about the leadership. How did you stop being a big homie? Can you command 100 men out here? Can you get anything done? Can you make something happen? Do you really understand the law? I'm asking. These niggas it's just the rhetoric. It sounds good. Can you really protect the neighborhood? Do these youngins really respect you or even know who you are to respect you? Other than that, it's rhetoric. You're like Eldridge Cleaver. You remember how Bobby felt about Eldridge Cleaver? It's like, yo, he's a, they're paper revolutionaries. Like, they have all the rhetoric, all the words. It sound good. They may, know 52 hand blocks. They may even know how to box a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They could probably spit a razor out like Birdie and Above the Rim and all that. But besides all of that, what are they really doing? What does their portfolio look like? What kind of assets do they have? What have they ascertained down here? What are they doing? Can they heal the sick? Can they heal themselves? Is their third eye consciousness? Is their pineal gland activated? Who are they? What can they teach the youth besides rhetoric and word semantics? Like the gods say, show and prove. Could they show and prove, or are they just going to rattle off a whole bunch of sciences and words that can't unlock a door or make it rain or nurture a baby? So with that being said, I've been here over an hour. There's 72 people in here. I really don't want to end this, but I'm gonna have to. I'm just saying he puts this tough act on and been exposed a couple times on this internet. Oh, Harrell. Yeah, I was one of the main ones who fundamental Black America strong. We will not lose. The FBAs, I believe that a little bit. I think some of us was already here, but some of us did come across the waters, but some of us was here already. Some of us was here already. I believe that. Even with the whole flat earth theory, man, like, I believe Earth is vision as a sphere if you're in outer space or the second waters, if that's what you want to call it. But even if it is flat, I believe that dimensions stacked on top of each other is going to give it a aura or orb and make it a circle. Tell us how Harrell said about Cameron. He said Cameron was gay. That's what Harrell said. He said Cameron was gay. I actually believe it. I actually believe it. He said that he was gay. He said that, I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that. Because in order for me to get into the whole thing because a lot of this stuff that I was told, when I was told it was like 06 and I was still gangbanging and running around. I was still a real nigga. And y'all already know what a real nigga is. A real nigga is a real ignorant. Because that's what a nigga is, ignorant. So a real nigga, I was a real nigga. So when son told me some of these things, it was just seemed far-fetched to me. But as I begin to read Aleister Crowley books, as I begin to understand, the R. Kelly thing and the whole Pied Piper thing and the Peter Pan thing with Michael Jackson and, Andre 3000 playing the flute and what they do with these flutes and how everybody's fascinated with the pan and the Pied Piper and the flutes and how these things are tools used to lure kids away. And the way Aleister Crowley dealt in sex magic and the reason why kids are being human trafficked right now, then I begin to say, oh, it makes sense. So a lot of these dudes ain't really living in their truth. You know what I'm saying? So in order for me to get into that, there's a lot that I would have to, I'd rather show y'all. So I'm going to wait until my platform is up and running and I can show you the books. I can show you other artists. I can compare the Michael Jackson to the Prince and show you the difference. I could break down the Purple Rain movie and show you, what Prince is saying in the movie without saying it. I'll break it down. I'll break down, some of the Michael Jackson stuff. I'll get into it. Yeah, but not in the thing that I have, he didn't call him gay. The recordings I got, he just was shitting on Cam. He didn't call him gay in the recordings, but he told me that Cam was gay. That's what Rel told me. So, but he lies a lot, but I don't, that one I don't think he's lying, right? Because you got to think about it. You see Cam and Mace on TV, right? We know Mace was around Puffy. And he obviously, Mace saw something that drove him to Christ. Something he saw drove him to Christ. Something. For a little while. But for somebody who been around Diddy for years, right? Soft-spoken, pretty boy. And then you have a nigga who wears pink, who, if you listen to him, I've been around women, they say, man, he hates women. Any women could tell he has a disdain for women. He went on a whole rant about an ex before. He'll go on a whole rant about exes, the Cam nigga, right? So when you have two people who, not just because he wear pinky's questionable, but the fact how women notice he has a disdain for women. But on their show all day, they pause, grown-ass men. In order for you to say pause, that means your mind thought something gay. So every time they say pause, that means they had a gay thought. What straight man will have a gay thought so much that you can't even watch an hour show without 15 to 35 pauses? Every time you say pause, that means you had a gay thought. Why do you have so many gay thoughts? And you responsible for men wearing pink. And your right-hand man was up under the diddler. So when he told me they was gay at the time, I was like, yeah, he made men start wearing double earrings. Remember, Cam was the first nigga that had wearing double earrings. You remember in the 90s, you know, the kids might not know because they grew up with men wearing two earrings. But us from the 90s, we knew we only was allowed to wear one earring. We was only allowed to wear one. The left one, this one. We was only allowed to wear one. Cam is the first person we ever seen, first male, straight male, wearing two big-ass earrings. So he got us wearing pink, and he had us wearing earrings. And his little mans was faking to be blood and had everybody gangbanging. So you got to understand, if this is wrestling, he's the Pink Panther wrestling, and they're the Jomo Homo blood niggas. It's his little crew. You know, it is what it is. But do you know Tech from 183rd? Tech, that's John Rambo's brother from 183rd, if I believe. Prince was freaking off with the chicks. Pause is a game. I mean, I don't know. 5 alive, 6 must die. Rest in peace, OG Ty. Yeah, that's what we was taught. Pause is a game. I don't know what pause is. I'm just saying. Niggas keep saying pause every time they say something that insinuates something. Oh, you took mad long. Pause. Or I hit him in his head. Pause. Like, why does your mind automatically go to something gay 1,000 times a day? That's gay in itself. So when son told me that, I didn't, you know, at first I thought it was far-fetched, but as years went on and I began to study, and I began to realize, you know, when you start dealing with, you know, Aleister Crowley and a lot of the Kabbalah magic and, you know, a lot of them, you know, people in them high places, you begin to realize, you know, what's really, really actually going on. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm not gonna get into that without showing y'all facts. I could show you, not like I'm gonna have like, you know, a smoking gun, but I'm just gonna show you, you know, some of the stuff that Aleister Crowley believed in some of his teachings, and then I'll show you in their videos where they showing you that they upon what he was upon. Do you know Marky and Ishmael from Valentine 2000 building? Nah, I don't know. I don't think I know them. I know a lot of people from 2000. Oh, that's the neighborhood, but Marky. Oh, you talking about old school Mark, light skin Mark, old school? I know a Mark if you're talking about the old head Mark. I thought Cam was the only one that noticed. I thought that I was the only one that noticed that about Cam. What, the poor shit or the fact that he don't like women? That ain't the first time. You rock with TV Baller. I used to fuck with TV before I got indicted. I was running around with TV heavy. I was running around with Son. I heard he was gay too, and I'm a woman, and I thought it was for far-fetched too, but I saw how demonic the industry is. That is a fact. That is a fact. Nah, not light skin. Oh, nah, I don't know Marky then. I don't know him, but do you speak a little Portuguese? Nah, I'm not Cape Verdean or none of that, Portuguese and none of that. Nah, I'm straight, what they call FBA, fundamental black. You know what I'm saying? But all my family I got family up in Rhode Island and shit, like, Narragansett. I'm Narragansett Indian, I guess. But I'm all nigga. I speak a little Spanish and shit, just growing up in the Bronx with Dominicans and shit. You know what I'm saying? I speak a little regular Spanish. I know it. I know more than I can speak, actually. But I know a little. From the Bronx? Don't hablo español. If you know a little Spanish, you can enséñame muy bien palabras, because I only know bad words. You know niggas from Louis Mars? Hell yeah, I know niggas from Louis Mars. That's the neighborhood. Barbalab, my son Paris. Back in the day, people though, like my son Matthew used to be dunking on everybody's head. His sister Shannon. My son VC. I know a lot of people from Louis Mars. I used to hang out in Louis Mars. That's the neighborhood. How I ain't gonna know people from over there? Yeah, FBAs, Fundamental Black Americans. Yeah. I believe some of us was here. At first, I thought it was far-fetched, but the more you ponder on it, one thing for sure, two things for certain, homie. When you read a lot, you got to be careful what you read, too, because, depending on the author, sometimes you might have a Christian who write a Muslim book or a Muslim who write a Christian book, so it's going to be a lot of bias in it. But when you read a lot and you study a lot, you begin to realize, like, a lot of the stuff that we was taught was backwards. So when they promote slavery, as hard as they promote slavery, I begin to think like there might have been a civilization over here. Because if you believe in the Atlantis story, they say before Atlantis, sunk or whatever, that some of them escaped to the Americas and on the East Coast, and then Lemurians was on the West Coast. So they say like the Lemurians escaped to the mainland of the West Coast, and the Atlanteans escaped to the mainlands of the East Coast, and that some of the Atlanteans was here and helped build Tartaria or whatever civilization that might have been here. So, I mean, it sounds a little far-fetched, but when you read a lot of old shit, then you realize, like, we on the, like, what's this, like, the third reset. So, like, the earth might have flipped this way and the water went one way, and then the earth might have flipped back that way. Thoth said in the Emerald Tablets, he said he watched the sun rise on the east and set in the west, then set in the west and rise on the east. He said that's how old he was and how long he was in existence. You know what I'm saying? And I suggest anybody read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. So, if we understand that, that people been here a long time, that it might be civilization on the ocean floor, all possibilities are endless. To sit and have a whole stance that this is the right and this is the wrong, it's like, it's preposterous if you actually read and study. Like, all possibilities are endless with what went on down here and what's going on down here. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't even a conspiracy at this point. We don't even know. We don't even got the right days of the times and months of the year. So who's to say, like, we all came on slave ships? Like, who, you can't believe all of that. And then, with this 6,000 years of existence, if you read some Elijah Muhammad stuff and even the Bible, it says that this planet, that just 6,000 years, like, they might be talking about the existence of the other race, that they may have came into existence, 6,000 years ago. But we've been here. We've been here for a long time. We've been here for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let y'all go, man. Salute, bros. I love y'all. Peace, love, and light. I wish I could read all the Book of Enoch is really, 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 really good. The Book of Enoch. I suggest you get the Book of Enoch and read that. That's real good. That's real good. I believe that's an Anunnaki story. It's a human who was amongst the Anunnaki. They took him to higher realms and gave him a certain level of overstanding. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good one. The Book of Enoch is real good. I remember Rel used to be John's son. Who's that? Who you? Who that? He was John. Nigga, we all grew up under John, man. John was, it was me, Rel, and John, actually. So if you knew that, then you gotta know me, whoever you is. Ain't no way you know Rel and John. You gotta know me. That's why you laughing. You definitely from the neighborhood, because it used to be me, Rel, and John. That was the three of me. When Rel first moved to my block, me and John was already on weeks. And I want to say John made me and Rel fight like 3-4 times. If I fought John about 9 times, I fought Rel about 15 times. So whoever you is, if you knew Rel was John's son, then you know John is my man, whoever you is. Yeah, you know something. You definitely from the neighborhood. That's a fact. But yeah, he took John girl. His baby, the one who started all this trouble was John girl. he had John. Well, he ain't still it because John wasn't with her no more. But that used to be John girl. So if you know that, then you know that. You know what I'm saying? But who am I to talk? I went with AZ baby moms after he died. So regular hood shit. Regular degular hood shit. If most people learn about the Anunnaki, a lot of things would be much clearer. Yeah, yeah. Not just the Anunnaki, but just that's right. The Anunnaki, the reason why, you know, if you really weirdo, why you want John O's stash, I don't know, especially if you're a rapper. Even bigger than the Anunnaki, right? What we don't realize is, first of all, the Anunnaki needed ships to get here, right? I don't believe all of the story because they didn't have to come here for gold. You got asteroids as big as the moon. You got asteroids the size of Texas, and the whole asteroid is comprised of gold. So if you needed to mine gold, you wouldn't have had to come to Earth to mine gold. You could have mined gold from the asteroid. You actually get more gold off an asteroid than the actual Earth. So I believe when they said they came here for gold, I believe this was the gold they came here. I believe they came here to create more bodies for more souls, for other entities and energies to feed off of. I believe the goal was the flesh. I personally, I don't believe they just came here for regular gold. But also, knowing that they needed ships and they have like a minute technology, there's entities that don't need ships to travel. And I believe they know that we don't need ships to travel. You know, when they call a Luciferian experience, I believe the Anunnaki chose science and mathematics over spirituality. You know, that's the whole Eve biting the apple thing, right? If you stay spiritual, you wouldn't need a ship. If you stay spiritual, you wouldn't need food. If you stay spiritual, you wouldn't need a house or air conditioning. If you stay spiritual, because you'll be one with the all in all. So everything you have will be within yourself. So the minute you bite the apple and you become knowledgeable, now you need things outside of yourself. So the Anunnaki needed things outside of themselves. And that's what those and the reptilians or whatever you want to call running this shit down here, that's what they feared. Because we could vibrate and meditate and we wouldn't need a ship to travel the galaxies. We wouldn't need gold to fix our atmosphere. We would be the atmosphere. We'd be able to control, manipulate time, space, and matter. So because we have the capability to do that, that's why we're flooded with, you know, social media and, you know, the Apple and all this other goofy shit. This is why we flooded with these things, you know, to keep us busy. So we don't, you know, live out our natural, you know, order. Not either. That's a fact, you know. So, but read, learn more, study yourself. Don't get trapped in this street shit, gangster shit, street shit, thug shit. Man, that shit is for babies, homie. That shit is baby food. It's like it's like a kid. You watch a kid and they don't know nothing about life and they trying to figure out how to walk and they looking at things. That's what a street nigga is. A street nigga is a baby when it comes to this planet and understanding who you are and what you are and your capabilities. A street nigga's a baby. Don't stay there amongst the children and talk goo gaga with the children. So when these niggas get up here talking about who killed who and who's this and who's that, I hear goo gaga. I'm looking at a fucking grown baby talking about some goo gaga shit. So I'll come back down here just for the youth to give some entertainment and go back and forth with these niggas. But these niggas is babies, homie. And if you still worrying about who a nigga told on or who shot who and who killed what, then you're a baby. You have a lot of developing to do. For real. Your shit might have got hard up here, but your crown chakra is not activated. You still in the lower realms. That's why you bang red or blue, because you, and I can't even say blue, because blue is higher than the fourth chakra. A lot of you niggas ain't, everybody's still in your root chakra. You niggas is still red. You still in the beginning phases of life and understanding you're a child. How could a child raise a child? So before Adam, the original man, I don't know, maybe you said something before. Let me look and see what you said before that. Nah, you ain't say nothing. You said before Adam, the original man, Cuba. A Prince by Cuba. Oh, that's a book. Before Adam, the original man. The Adamites, the Adame, Adam, there was civilizations before Adam. Adam was just the first that they grafted with their DNA. But there was others that was here that didn't have their DNA. You gotta remember you had the Nagas. The Nagas might have been here, and then you might remember it was light beings that was here before they got here. A good book on that. Not the whole book, but this is a good book. This is a good book. The Ascension Manual. Not the whole book, but I like it because it talks about the light being races that was here. They didn't even have bodies. They was just made of light. And that's what we are. We have light bodies. These physical bodies is what trap us here. If we had light bodies, we could travel from here to Mars, to Jupiter, to, you understand what I'm saying, to another galaxy if you was a light body. So this is the plan, though, to keep your spirit trapped here. So that's why I come back here to these babies to talk to y'all who want to understand who we are and what we are. What's the name of the book? That's the name of the book. Was wondering if you read it. Before Adam, the original man. Nah, I never read that. It sound fire though. By Prince A. Cuba. I don't know why that name sound familiar. I might have read a book from him, but I don't think I read that one. Dan, did you say the Nagas before I said that, or you said that after I said it? The Nagas is very real. Yeah, this Nagas is the serpent from the Garden of Eden story. You know, if you read the Vedas and you read the Vedas or the Mahabharata, I think it is, they speak about the serpents having to go underground. That's what it meant when God said the serpent would be forced to crawl on the ground. It didn't mean like the snake had legs and he took the legs away. It meant underground. And they said they would nip at our heels. So they attack us from the fourth dimension and feed off our fear. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on. That's the shit I want to talk about. So that's why I tell these gangbanging niggas like, homie, I'm gonna get out your way. Y'all could talk about OG Mac. Y'all could talk about the Mac Bowlers, the G-Shine, the Alpos and the Rich Porters. Y'all could have all that shit. That shit is baby food, homie. Like, that shit is so 1986. Why are we still talking about that? I'll talk about it because I've been around. I'm, you know how they say the lead authority in certain shit? You know, I'd be like, yo, he's the lead authority. I could kind of be like the lead authority in the street shit because I've been around some shit and I actually been around some people who've been around some shit. So I could get into that. I could be a fucking college professor in niggerism and niggerdom. But niggerdom is not, that's not my school of thought. Niggerdom. I'm not with the niggerdom. I ain't with that. I'm gonna get out y'all way though. What you think about Booby and Kodak Black arguing over PC? Booby? What Booby? I don't know what Booby you talking about. What you think about, Bootsy and Kodak Black arguing over PC? I don't know. I ain't really keep up with current events. I should be if I'm gonna be on social media, but I don't know what they talking about. I don't even know if Kodak Black and Bootsy is both beefing over PC. Peace, no funny shit. That corduroy cow. Nigga, first of all, nigga, this ain't the Temu shit. They got the Temu couch, the $500 boneless shit. This ain't that. This that $3,000 shit. I would show you the shit, but I got mad paperwork over there. So if I show them, I'm like, oh, that nigga live like he dirty. So I can't show the other side of the couch. But nigga, this ain't that Temu shit. This ain't that Temu shit. This from what's her name? What's this furniture store name? That's that shit, nigga. This that $3,000 shit. Actually more, cause this half was $3,000, and that one little armrest part over there, that shit is $800. So, and I'm by no means am I, on some super fly shit, cause I ain't talking that talk. But this ain't. I think you think this that Temu shit. I mean, TikTok shit. This ain't the boneless shit that come in a box that unfold at 500. This ain't that. This shit is, look. You hear that? This ain't that boneless shit. This ain't TikTok or Temu. This shit from Jennifer's. I think it's Jennifer's. Yeah, this that. I would show you, like I said, but if I say y'all pissing me off, I'm about to show y'all that. Don't mind the papers, but I'm about to show you niggas. This ain't what you think it is. This ain't that. This is that. See all of that? See from there all the way the fuck over there? You see that? You see all of that? That's not that, homie. That's not what you think it is. I just got my paperwork in my box and my books and my blanket. I had to sleep out here a couple nights ago. I was on the couch, so that's why the blanket is out. But yeah, this ain't that. They got that boneless shit like off of Temu. It's not that. Corduroy couch. My girl wanted this couch, and it's actually really soft. This shit is like fur. It ain't like corduroy. It ain't. I think you thinking about that Temu shit. I don't even see. I let you niggas. Ashley's. Yo, Dame, good looking, bro. My son Dame from the neighborhood, man. Thank you, Dame. Tell these dumb ass, yeah, this is Ashley's, nigga. You got me fucked up. This ain't Temu. But see, y'all got me lower vibrational. I'm trying to elevate, talk about the Anunnaki and the higher dimensions and the reptilians and the Nagas, and you niggas bring me back to TikTok and this. Why you do that, homie? See, I be trying to be, y'all bring the street superficial shit out of me real quick. Because I got to defend my shorty. She wanted this motherfucker. I didn't want this. She wanted it. So now that you disrespecting, I had to feel like I had to take up for her because I didn't want this motherfucker, furry motherfucker anyway. I didn't. She wanted it. But you, yeah, making me defend that shit. Yeah, it's Ashley's. We Gucci. Nigga, we better be Gucci. Fly shit, I believe. Nah, it's regular shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie. This regular shit, bro. It ain't nothing too crazy, but it ain't no bullshit. But it ain't too crazy. But Redacted. I thought you was talking about Raymond and Flanagan. They got some fire. Nah, it's Ashley's. The bro said right. I think this shit is Ashley's. Chill is fly. Curdy is good. Corduroy is good. Corduroy, nigga, corduroy. I used to hate corduroy as a kid, but then when I got older, I actually liked corduroy. When my grandma used to buy me corduroy, I used to be tight. Corduroy and sandals. I still don't do sandals, but I started liking corduroy. I had some nice corduroy shit. But yeah, damn, it's 81 people in here. See, every time I come on, I'll be trying to come on, just do a quick video. But when it be 80, 85 people in this motherfucker, I don't be wanting to get off this shit. But I've been on it an hour and a half though. So I'm about to get off. But you could bite through a brick. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. I was thinking about getting my shit done, but nah, bitches love this gap. That's a fact. At least I got all my. You seen her real mouth? No, for real. You said I could bite through a brick. Have you seen her real mouth? You seen that nigga mouth? See, I got health care. I've been home for 3 years. I work. I got motherfucking health care. I got health insurance, life policy, all that shit. All that shit street niggas don't do. Street niggas don't do shit like that. You ever seen real teeth? That nigga shit busted, shit is twisted. These are all my real joints. These is all me. I don't got no pop-ins, no pull-out. All my shit is good. I had my prostate. I had my colonoscopy, speed, whatever the fuck. I had that. My blood pressure good. I go to the doctor. Homie, I got a license. I'm living a civilian's life. Your favorite rapper don't even got health care. Them niggas don't even got health care. They get sick. Them niggas gonna be broke, busted, and disgusted. They gonna be twisted. You see them niggas' mouth? Yeah, I got gap tooth and all that, but guess what? These shits is mines, homie. It's 46 years. I got every single jib, not a cavity, not a nothing. All these is official tissue, real. These is mines. Now, if I happen to lose one, I might go get all this shit done up. If I happen to lose one, I might go get it all done up. I might. I'm not gonna lie, like I won't. But since I got them and they real and these is me, I'm cool. But look at that nigga mouth. Look at that nigga mouth. That nigga mouth look crazy. I still love the dirty nigga, but you ever see his mouth? You ever see his nails? Look at my nails. You would think I was a millionaire how my teeth is clean, they minds, and my nails is clean. You ever see that nigga nails and that's my bro. I used to look at that nigga like, yo, bro, how the fuck you showing your nails and how you showing your teeth like that? Man, go get them shits done. If my shit look like that, I would go get my shit done. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'm not superficial type of nigga. I keep it regular degular. But if my shit look like that, I would have went and got my shits done, homie. I'm keeping it a band. Word to my mother, I would have went and got my shits done. AYAT. I can't walk around looking like that. Keep it official. I used to go to Sherman and 240 to get the haze, but my action ain't cloudy. That's good. Have all your teeth at your age. Yeah, I got all my teeth. My shit just started thinning. My shit was straight too. But shit, when you facing 30 years, nigga, my shit started going. I started telling. I started stressing. My bitch left me. I'm in there twisted. My baby's growing up without me. This shit just start disappearing, homie. Now it's like, it's kind of twisted. But I lost that at 40. I was good till I was 40. I thought I was gonna have my shit forever. But if I never caught that bit, I still had all my hair. But that's what you niggas wanted me to do. You wanted me to take that time, not stress about it. I would have all my hair. I'd have been in the yard in Canaan, Lewisburg. Y'all never would have heard about me. And I'd have been in there locked down in somebody's box right now doing push-ups, telling my bunkie, some Mexican nigga or some young YN nigga, about how I used to run around with Harrell. He'd be like, who? I'd be like, you know Harrell from Dipset? Dipset? Camera? Oh, yeah, the Is What It Is guy? Oh, yeah. Niggas don't know about them niggas no more. I'm sitting there talking about 30-year-old war stories with 30 years, with 10 in on a 30-year sentence. Y'all niggas is bugging. I love being free. I'm going to sleep on this corduroy sofa, this Ashley shit tonight. I'm going in the room. She let me back in the room tonight. I'm going to grab my blanket. I'm going in my king size. Oh, it's not a king size. I'm freestyling. I'm going to go in my queen size bed. That shit's soft as shit. And watch my motherfucking TV with my lady. I got a pretty high yellow thing. She 35. She intelligent. I'm in love with her little ass. That's what I'm going to do for the night. You think for 1 second my ass supposed to took that time, been a real nigga, and been on that hard-ass mat that I spent the last 18 years of my life in. What's today? Today is, what's today? Fuck is today? Oh, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know what they was having tomorrow, but they was having some straight bullshit tomorrow for breakfast. I ain't even go to breakfast. There ain't no sense to go to breakfast in the fast, but that's what I'm supposed to be doing for breakfast and for cake and oatmeal. No, they having cold-ass waffles and cold-ass pancakes. You know them little round-ass, bullshit-ass pancakes? That's what they having tomorrow. Watery-ass syrup and the 2% milk. That's what them niggas is having tomorrow. And then they're going to have burgers tomorrow. It's Wednesday. They probably going to have burgers. Most places, they're going to have burgers. Them little-ass, you're going to get one. One little-ass burger with a little sprinkle of ketchup and a piece of cheese and some tater tots. That's for lunch tomorrow. You get one of those. And if you buy one from a nigga, he gonna want a book of stamps, $5. That's what I'm supposed to been doing with the rest of the real niggas. Yo, peace, love, and light, y'all. I promise you, I'm gonna keep going live because they said it might take 30 days for my shit to get. I met all the qualifications. I got the views. I got the followers. So the last step, they said it could take 30 days. So I didn't want to keep posting from the couch. I got a mic. The desk supposed to come. I got me a little gaming chair. I ordered my logo. Got that coming, gonna be behind me. And I'm gonna have people call in. We're gonna do a lot of spiritual work. We're gonna do a lot of teaching. I'm gonna break down a lot of these videos. I'm gonna break down a lot of these movies. I'm gonna show you the esoteric meanings behind a lot of shit, a lot of lyrics that the rappers do. I'm gonna show you what they about. And I'm gonna do this so y'all can learn who y'all are spiritually, mentally, and physically. That y'all can activate your higher selves. You know what I'm saying? And be able to heal yourselves and others, especially our children, man. These children are the indigo children. These children should already be. I see some people on the internet like moving paper with their hands. You ever see the nigga? He got the little shit on the tube with the little aluminum foil, and he going like this, and they moving that shit. Our kids supposed to be doing that. That's what our kids supposed to be doing. They're supposed to heal themselves. I could tell you, like, I've actually healed scoliosis. We actually healed my wife's kidney and shit like that years ago. when I, before I got indicted and shit. So these are the things that we supposed to be doing. We supposed to be, fucking with these crystals, fucking with these crystals, fucking with these, putting these in your water, activating your water, deflecting some of this energy, pulling positive energy in, deflecting some of the negative energy, praying up, meditating up, vibrating high. It's a lot going on down here, y'all, real shit. So I promise y'all I'm not up here to keep talking about gangster shit. I just like to address some of the goofy shit going on because I know some of the kids is watching. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm never gonna say these niggas, the rest of these niggas, because I'm in the dirty section. I ain't acting like I'm holier than thou, or like I'm some super duper, no jumper ass nigga. Oh, shout out to Son from No Jumper for reaching out to me. You know what I'm saying? We gonna chop it up. But yeah, I ain't acting like I'm some big podcast nigga, but for 2 weeks to already be getting thousands of views while niggas been up here 4 or 5 years. One of the niggas who was talking about me, I went on his page and I think his biggest video was like 3,000 views. And I'm not coming from a space of pride. I'm just coming from a space of, homie, find something better else to do with your time. For real. You interviewing a nigga with my name, 050 in front of it with my name. What's the odds of that? There ain't too many niggas named Bucks. And then you put 050 Bucks because you know I'm fucking with 050 and you interview a nigga with my name with your 2,000 views and you've been on here 4 years. I would be mad at myself too. I would hate a rat ass nigga get out of jail, gap tooth, bald headed nigga telling old school war stories, get up here and outshine me, and I'm a real nigga in my girlfriend's kitchen in the Bronx. Rats and roaches. I could never raise my children in the Bronx ever again. And I have nothing. If you have no other means, I get it. But before you open up your mouth to call somebody else fake and say that you're real, you should be putting your children in a better environment and having them around better conditions and better schooling as their dad, real nigga. That's what you're supposed to be doing. I don't know me, because you older than me, so you probably got kids, grown kids, but it was kids in the crib. So the baby mama, whoever you staying with, she got little kids. You should be trying to get them little kids out of the Bronx, homie. That should be, I wouldn't know what to do if my kids was in the Bronx. I wouldn't know what to do. I really wouldn't. I would not know what to do. Having to worry about them going to school and walking outside with all the violence that's going on over there. So you should have more to talk about. I had a nigga run down on me, just a short story because I'm leaving y'all. But I had somebody run down on me months ago. And well, it's about a year ago because time flies so by. But when I was out in Connecticut, I went to the homeless shelter. I used to go there to pass out food. You real niggas ever did that? You ever been to the homeless shelter and just like pass out food? Or actually they make you do the dishes. You couldn't even pass out food. That was like a privilege. You had to like do dishes and chop onions and shit like that. And then once you go for a while, then they let you pass out the food. But like a couple years back when I first came home, when I was out in Connecticut, I used to go to a halfway house. I mean, not a halfway house, excuse me. A soup kitchen. Sorry, a soup kitchen. And one time I'm in the soup kitchen. This is why I had to get out of Connecticut. I was in the soup kitchen and a nigga ran down on me, was like, yo, what's poppin', homie? Yo, the homie Hell Rel in the soup kitchen. Yo, the homie Hell Rel said you told on a bunch of homies in New York. Yo, what's poppin', blood? Yo, what's banging with that? What's going on like with that? I looked around because I had to like really grasp everything and say, I said, homie, we're in a soup kitchen. I'm here to drop off some bread and to go back and help do some dishes. You're here to get a plate. Get your plate, get your lunch, get your free stale ass bread, and go sit down somewhere. How the fuck is you in the soup kitchen asking me about some blood shit and you're in a fucking soup kitchen? And I'm not taking nothing away from nobody who has children and you're forced to be in a soup kitchen. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is, this is the mentality. This is just like the niggas in the dirty section who talk about me being a rat and a real nigga and all that. These the same type of niggas. You're in a soup kitchen, coming to get something to eat, and I'm in here volunteering, and you're asking me about some blood shit. I told a nigga, I said, homie, I'm quite sure you have a lot more important things to be worrying about than who I told on in New York. And I haven't been blood in over 10 years. But I'm sure you have a lot more going on, brother. And I passed that, brother, and I went back there to chop my onions and do the dishes and pass out soup to the others that was in need. And that's how I view some of you dudes in the dirty section, or a nigga sitting in his girlfriend's kitchen talking about who killed who and who OG Mac is and OG Ty and all this street law and this goofy shit, and you're looking bad, homie. Seriously. Use your brain and your mind and your talent. Well, I don't know if you got talent because you would have had more views, but whatever it is you're trying to do that and get your kids out of wherever they at. And then, I ain't gonna say come talk to me because we ain't really got nothing to talk about. But keep vibrating high, y'all. Love, life, peace to the universe, peace to the kids. Righteous, righteous. I wish I could say these comments so I could go back and read them. I don't know how to do that. But I would love to be able to read all these comments. I'm just sitting here talking and I couldn't read the comments. I really wish I could figure out how the fuck to do that. But peace, love, and light to the collective, y'all. Thank you for y'all time. I promise you, probably in the next, I said this month, but probably to the end of this month, I'll post every few days. But I promise y'all, I got something for y'all. I got a lot for y'all. Don't even trip. I'm just getting it together. I'm not going to be sitting here in front of this couch all day like the nigga that been in his girlfriend kitchen for the last 4 years, just talking. I know y'all mind want to see, you want to see the signs, you want to see the symbols, you want to see the videos, you want to see visuals. As I'm giving the knowledge, I know I want y'all to see it. And I'm freestyling too. Like I'm shooting from the hip as I'm speaking. I don't got nothing written down or nothing. So I would like things to be a little more professional. Sometimes I misquote things. Sometimes I say the wrong shit, just talking fast. Like, the thing I said about Clarence 13X and stuff. Sometimes I'll be a little fast, you know what I mean, talking. And not really, I ain't gonna say thinking because I'm thinking as I'm talking. Thinking is a subconscious thing. So I'll be more professional with it for y'all. Everything has to be done in accordance and everything has to be right and exact. So I'm just putting out videos and talking to the people because the people want me to talk. So, and I enjoy talking. So peace, love, and light to the collective. I thank y'all. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. My cousin said he loved your channel and he's encouraged by you. Thank you, man. That encouragement, if I'm encouraging people and just the people who've been calling me with their stories and people coming out, man, this is the year to come out. This is yo, Kai, what's up, bro? 050 the movement, man. Y'all know what's up, man. The encouragement and the people who have been coming out to me overwhelmingly, telling me that they told and they just admire that I could be who I am, or the couple of women who came to me. One of them, man, I hope she let me interview her because she had an experience and was raped by somebody that we all idolize in the neighborhood and happened to be her own relative, you know what I'm saying? So I hope I could, not just to blow up the story, to blow that person up or nothing like that, but just, for her to live her truth and let that out so she could begin the process of healing. So the people who have been coming to me with their rape stories, people who have been coming to me with their former gangbanging stories and all of that, like, and this person right here, Tashawn Miles, you know what I'm saying that, his cousin said they like my channel and they've been inspired. He said, you're a cool dude and he loves, but I appreciate y'all. Love, light to the collective. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gratitude. I'm going to go again tomorrow. No, if I do go, it'll be late, like at 11, 12-ish at night. I'm going to go, 11, 12-ish at night. Maybe I'll set up a time. Maybe I'll do this every night at like 11 at night Eastern time. Maybe I'll do that. Because I'll be on TikTok too, y'all. But my TikTok shit is relationship shit. But I'm going to tell y'all something about my TikTok. I go live on TikTok every day at 8 o'clock. It's Soul TV on TikTok. But my TikTok shit be on dating time. My TikTok is straight dating time. However, there's a method to my madness. You get more bees with honey. I'm bringing the women over there so I could get them to talk more about molestation and what we lack in the African-American community, what the women need. So I got the women over there for relationship shit, but we not going to stay there that long. They thinking that's what I'm going to be doing every night. And that's what I've been doing every night for the last 2 weeks, but I'm not going to be over there doing that too much. So my TikTok is Soul, SOUL, apostrophe ELTV. This one is straight through. On TikTok, it's apostrophe soul apostrophe ELTV. So come over there, and I appreciate y'all. I like the poem, by the way. That was beautiful, he said. The poem? What poem? The poem. The poem. I don't know what poem. I used to write poetry, so I don't know. You probably know me from another time. But peace, love, and light. I thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. I hate to leave 62 people because I feel like, you know, y'all still here. Y'all been here with me. I feel like there's so much more that need to be said. And I wish I could read all the comments because I've been sitting here and I wasn't looking in the comments because I was busy talking. But I got to go. Love and light to the collective.